welcome to my channel. I thought for my first video I should probably talk about my favorite thing like ever, and that is my quiet time. For those of you who know me, or for those of you who don't know me, I'm in love with God and I have a relationship with him, and so that means that I have to carve out time each day to spend with him. For me, my quiet time looks like two different things. It's like bookend days. I have it in my morning and I have it at night time. So I'm so excited to take you through my quiet time routine. My friend Rebecca Lowndes says this. She says, "We cannot run if we cannot rest." Now, rest looks very different to just sleeping and watching Netflix. Rest is actually really spiritual, and when you can rest with God, you are then able to go out and to pour out onto others and do everything that God is calling you to do. And being in a relationship with God also means sacrifice. And for me, that sacrifice is that extra 2 hours or an hour and a half of sleep that I could have gotten, but instead I've woken up early and I've spent time with God. Quiet time usually starts off with some quiet time prep. So during this time, I will make my bed, I'll do the chopping thing on my cushions, and I will open up my blinds because I want to catch the sunrise, or even if it's still dark outside, the stars. There's something really magical about seeing the stars in the morning before they disappear with the sun. I don't know, but you should do it. It's a game changer. Aside from Jesus, coffee is one of the most important things in my life, and especially in the morning time. So I will head over to the kitchen and I'll make myself a cup of coffee. Could be iced coffee one day, could be my vanilla almond milk latte that I make at home, which is usually the go-to. That's a go-to. And then once I am back in my room, I will light some candles. Some days it's 1 candle, other days it's 5 candles. It just really depends if I can be bothered and what mood I'm in. But I just feel like lighting candles really sets the atmosphere for my quiet time. Once all that prep is done, it is time to get into prayer. So I just really like to start off with a prayer, whether it's like just thanking God for waking me up, thanking God for a new day, just pray that he blesses the day ahead and blesses his time with me, that he will reveal things to me throughout his word. And yeah, and just I also pray that I wouldn't get distracted, because I feel like our phones and everything are really big distractions. I actually have a time limit on my phone from like, I think it's like 9 p.m. until like 8 a.m. or something like that, where I just block out the app. So literally I don't get any notifications or anything, because this time is something that I cherish and I don't want to be distracted by the world and the nudges of the world. Sometimes I will have my quiet time in my bed, other times I'll be in the living room on the couch, but these days I'm in my little chair in this little spot that I absolutely love to sit in. But whatever works for you, you can do it wherever you like, but this is just my favorite place to sit. Prayer is something that I've grown up doing, and I'll probably do a whole video of my testimony and my journey of faith. But prayer is really, really important. It just postures my heart and allows me to invite God's presence into my room. And I just get really excited after my prayer, because I know that I'm going to receive something, and it allows me to be expectant and to know that God is going to move during this time. After I've prayed, I will then read, and reading the Bible is one of my favorite things actually it is my favorite thing in the entire world, probably. I used to think that reading the Bible was so weird and so like religious, and it was just like this old dark dusty book, but it's actually amazing. And the Bible doesn't lie when it says it's a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. It truly is the best book ever. Someone that struggles reading the Bible, or if you're someone who struggles to understand it, or maybe you're new to reading the Bible, I highly recommend the Message version of the Bible. I got into this about 3 years ago, and my life changed so much. This Bible has been beaten and teared and scribbled and highlighted, but it is really my favorite thing ever. It's more of like a simplified devotional kind of version of the Bible, and it's all really compressed into quite a small size of the Bible. So if you're looking for something that's an easy read, highly recommend this version of the Bible, because this is the one that I go to every single day. I also have the She Reads Truth Bible. This is more of when I'm gravitating towards like a study. So when I'm wanting to study the word and really get into it, I will read this Bible, but then I will also follow along on the commentary website called Enduring Word, or the app Enduring Word. Highly recommend that as well if you're someone looking for some insight into the Bible verses and more information about each verse. It is really good. But this Bible is like really, it's just full of like writing and highlighting, and helps me like study the word more, and it's full of devotionals as well. And this is the Christian Standard Bible version, so it's simple, but it's just a little bit thicker and it has a lot more of like studying to do. But I also really enjoy this Bible. You know, I've read most of the Bible, but every single day I read it, I always receive something different. And I don't know if you can also relate if you're someone who's been studying the Bible for a while now, but it gives you insight to heaven and you learn about Jesus, and it's just amazing and it's life-giving. So I really love reading. It's essential in my quiet time routine. It is like a thing that I need to do every single day, and it's truth. So you're actually being filled up with truth, and then you can go out and pour out into others and live out the call that God has in your life. So I highly recommend getting yourself a Bible. The next part of my routine that I like to incorporate sometimes is a daily devotional. If you don't know what a devotional is, it's essentially just like a glimpse into the Bible, like one verse, and then the author will talk about their life and something that God revealed to them. It's really good because you're receiving something that someone else has written and learned from God, but it's also teaching you more about the Bible. So I have a whole quiet time stack. I feel like my room is kind of like a Kurong bookstore, if you know what Kurong is. Here's my devotional stack. I'm just going to do like quickly show you my favorite one. This one is God Hears Her. It's 365 devotionals for women by women. Next one is Jesus Calling. This one is a classic, and it's a daily devotional essentially written with Bible verses, but it's kind of created that Jesus is writing to you, like letters to you. This one is also really good. Sadie Robertson's Live on Purpose is also very good. It's super relatable and super simple and easy to read. Love Is a Surrendered Yes by Rebecca Lyons. I think my favorite one and my sister's favorite one is New Morning Mercies by Paul David Tripp. I got introduced to this like 4 years ago, and it has just been the best devotional ever. It's so deep, it's so real, it's so true, and it's just like that is this devotional. So I highly recommend you get your hands on a copy of New Morning Mercies. The next part of my quiet time routine is also a very important one and kind of an essential for me, and that is to journal. So I also have a journaling stack, and it is a little bit overwhelming, but I will show you it anyway. It's really heavy. This is my journaling stack. I have been journaling every single day for the past 3 years, and so yep, this is what I've collected over the years. Sometimes I will journal 1 to 2, sometimes even 4 pages a day, just depending on what the day looks like. And I really only started journaling because I think something really cool happened in my day and I wanted to jot it down, but I was sick of doing it on my phone because it was getting lost, and there's something really special about holding a pen and having paper in your hands. So I started journaling and I never stopped, and I haven't stopped yet. I just write out words and things that sometimes it's like what God did that day, what happened that day, what's going on in my life right now. Like I have journal entries from like the best week of my life, and it was like graduation and things like that, and it's so good to even look back at my handwriting like 3 years ago and see how much my life has changed and how much I have changed. And sometimes I'll write them to myself, sometimes I'll do journal entries to God, like whatever I'm feeling that day, it just all goes in these journals right here. The next part of my routine that I do is a new thing, and we call it the War Room. If you've seen the movie War Room, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, but I actually copied this idea from Abby. So it's essentially just like a part in my closet. Like for me, I don't have a massive closet, so it's just on my door, but it's basically post-it notes and pages of Bible verses that I want to learn and prayers. So if someone messages me for an example and is like, oh, I need prayer in this area of my life, and I just respond with yeah, and I don't mean to, but I completely forget about it. This allows me to write that prayer out, stick it on my door, and every morning I will actually pray for that person or pray for that area of their life or whatever that looks like. I also have verses up there that are big and small, things that I want to live by every single day, but I just want to remember them off by heart. So that is a really good way to remember them. The last and final part of my quiet time routine is worship. This is something that I've been doing for a while now as well, and it's just so good for me to do it. So what I do is I will blast just like my favorite worship music in my headphones or my AirPods, and I will just vibe out to whatever song I'm listening to. But it's also it's a holy moment because it starts off my day in surrender and praise, and it's just transformative. And I have a whole worship playlist on my Spotify that I'll definitely link down below. I think it's like 9 hours long. It's a long playlist, but it's also just full of the bangers, so get onto it. Worship for me is a game changer, and that's how I wrap up my quiet time. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like it and subscribe to my channel, and I hope that's my biggest hope for this video, is that you feel inspired to wake up early and to spend time with God and do all these things. And let me know if you do, because it's truly life-changing. I'll be doing it tomorrow morning, and I'll probably be doing this for the rest of my life because it's so amazing. So yeah, I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you later.